Oh, yes. So that being said, we got a new song starting. What song is it? Oh, it's springtime theme. You know what that means? It means it's time for Where's the Fun? Let's move over to that. Let's make sure this thing looks good. Perfect. Almost perfect. Let's move me over here. A pinch. There's a reason for that. I'm not going to get into it right now. But welcome to... This is the Where's the Fun segment. So, welcome to the Where's... Here, let's try this again. Hold on. Let's go back. Let's go back. We have fun here, right? We have fun. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Do it. I forgot the keyboard shortcut. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Where's the Fun, or WTF as I like to call it. In my opening segment, I just do a little bit of a recap analysis of what we did live last stream, or something I've done off stream. And recently we've been going through, we went through Harvest Moon, we went to the evolution of Harvest Moon, which was Stardew Valley last week. And in this segment, we are analyzing the question, where's the fun? Where did I find the fun in Stardew Valley? Stardew Valley is one of my top favorite games. For those of you that don't know what Stardew Valley is, let's get into it. So this is the title screen of Stardew. It's a little kind of capture of it. So this is Stardew Valley. And where's the fun in Stardew Valley? Well, I'll tell you what, it's everywhere. This game is fantastic. It's available at this point. We played it on PC, the latest Steam version. And I played it originally not too long after it came out. But the gameplay is pretty straightforward. If you played Harvest Moon or any of those kind of life simulator games from back in the day, this is a reimagining of that, an evolution of that. So you do stuff like on the left here, you can see you're farming. On the right, you're doing things like mining and stuff like that, which is lovely. There's all these kind of facets of the game. This is the way you earn an income, you build up your farm, you find a way to do, you can go foraging, you can do all kinds of stuff. And it's how you build up, it's that's the whole plan. The storyline is pretty straightforward. You inherit a farm from your grandfather, you have to fix it up, and then you decide what you want to do from there. There's a little town not too far from there. I can't remember the name of it right now, but you all live in the region of Stardew Valley. There's a whole kind of narrative theme to it. It's fantastic. It's all player driven, so however you want to do it. So when you're not farming or mining or earning some money, you're going to local events. Maybe you're getting married or maybe you're getting divorced. They introduced that into it. One of the big narrative driven pieces is the rec center, which you can see in the bottom right corner there of the slides. So you rebuild that by doing missions and quests and things like that that are available. And again, not required. That's a critical piece to this. And actually, there's a whole competing corporate entity called Joja, and Joja Mart is trying to invade your town essentially and take over. And you can kind of go shop at Joja Mart or the locals, support the locals, rebuild your community center, and kind of try to drive Joja out. This is long game stuff. We clearly only played it for about, I think, 4 in-game days, which is that's barely scratching the surface. But that's where we started. So the feelings I had during the game, I straight up felt there's the feelings of the game, like accomplished. I definitely felt accomplished in this game, where again, just like Harvest Moon, you're doing crops, you're getting through some stuff, and you feel good about it. The second thing is I felt really free to do whatever I wanted. That's something I rarely see in a video game, is I feel general freedom. And I just felt like, they're going to drop you in the world, and you're like, and you're good. And last but not least, I felt productive. In the Harvest Moon review I did for the design, I talked about how I felt busy. And I replaced that with accomplished and free. But productive is the right word. I felt there's a satisfied. This one I felt productive. I felt like not only did I did feel satisfied, but I felt like I was actually accomplishing something and actually feeling productive doing it, which is a really great feeling when you're productive at work, when you're productive at home, whatever it is. It's a great feeling, and I definitely had that exact same feeling here. Hey, Stilterfish. So for those of you that are watching the live recording or the replay of this, we do this live every Sunday at 9:30 p.m. Central on Mixer.com/DaveWest. You can participate in the chat. And Stilterfish came back and said, "Hey-oh, wait, there's a required storyline of this game." That's the fun part. It is not required, Stilterfish. It's there. The rec center versus JoJo Mart is a thing you can do, but it's not required. It's just a lot of fun if you want to do it. It takes multiple years to accomplish, and there's even more stuff with the mines. There's all these kind of deeper, the depth of the game. There's a lot of depth into this game, and we'll talk about that in a bit. So the good, the first thing we're going to talk about again, like I just wanted the depth. Between mining, farming, foraging, the storyline, the relationships, all this stuff, there is so much stuff going on here. But the depth for each one of these branches, you can go into all of them, you can do none of them, it's just whatever you want to do. You can even follow the corporate, you can actually feed into the corporate funnel there and actually become a corporate kind of headpiece and start supporting that, and you can support JoJo Mart, and it's really interesting. You can go like the corporate way versus, you know, supporting your the kind of the way they steer you toward the good way versus the bad way. You can go bad. There's a whole ethic to that, or the whole, like, you know, good versus evil thing. I really love that idea that you could actually go and become a JoJo Mart employee and work for them. It was lovely. Player growth. And I mean it from a not just from the virtual player, like your actual character, but also just from the player. You get better and better and better at this game, and they level you up. That's what the RPG elements kind of tie into this. Your character will build up in the things you decide to do, whether it's foraging or farming or livestock or mining or whatever. Your character will get better at them, and then you will find different systems to how to play these systems with each other to make the most money or get whatever your version of profit is in the game. And usually it's money, but there's so much stuff to do in it. It's just amazing for that. The less good, I'm gonna say that the time investment is less good. This is really just me, and I'm not like, this is me really grasping. Like, this is the catch, I think, is this game is a time sink, but it's only as much as time as you want to play. This game is one of those things you can leave on the back burner and let it simmer for months and years and play it whenever you want. It is that kind of game. It's not like you just kind of fall completely out of touch with it. As long as you kind of check in once in a while, it's great. Plus all the huge upgrades they've done in the last year. I haven't played it in a good year or 2 years, but they've made some massive upgrades. And man, there is no bad thing there about that. Like, it's just the upgrades are fantastic. They just tightened up the gears a little bit, made it great. And I guess the other thing is there's nothing really bad about this game. I really loved this aspect of the game, that there was just I couldn't find anything. I've actually we're gonna come back to it now that they've added co-op play. My better half and I, we're gonna start a cooperative farm. She's always wanted to play, we never got into it, so we're gonna start a co-op farm. It's gonna be our kind of place to go chill out, throw it onto the laptops, go chill out together, you know, just play some games. It's gonna be great. But yeah, so ultimately, where's the fun in this game? The fun in this game, let's actually go back to me. Where's the fun in Stardew Valley? It's straightforward. The fun is everywhere. The fun is just, it's a chill zen experience that you completely control, and you feel productive doing whatever it is you chose to do. So that is just the best part of this game. I cannot stress how great that is. So thank you for the WTF segment. Let's check out the chat here. There is no FOMO element. I don't know what FOMO means, Stilterfish, but I'm assuming it means FOMO. I don't know. Fear of missing out. Ah, yes, that's a good point. There is no fear of missing. That is a really good point. That is a really great way of describing what I'm trying to say. You can go all the way down that mining path, and I finally beat the first mine, found out there was the second one. That was way back when. I actually got to the, you unlock the bus and you do all this stuff. You fix up the town, and then you get upgrades that it gives you access to more stuff. And characters are introduced. Just little things happen, but you can always go back and just dive into the other storylines. You can romance whoever you want. You can get married. You can get divorced. You can romance everybody. It actually has consequences now, it turns out. I was trying to romance everyone. That takes a lot of time, but each person has a little micro story, and that's the last thing we'll talk about here. Actually, I forgot my last slide. Let's go back to the slides. Oh shoot, there we go. Last slide. The takeaways I got. One, RPG systems will need depth. This is what I've learned from this. This is what I mean by the takeaways. These are the things that I am taking away from this game. RPG systems need depth. And that's absolutely true. They need depth, and we have that. You know, you want to go foraging, there's a whole foraging side of it. There's little quests around it. You want to go mining, there's a whole mining quest around it. There's just these systems need narrative depth, and they need to be able to make the player feel productive and rewarded. Number 2 is player freedom. You give the player as much freedom as you can in a game like this, and they can you're building systems. That's not going to be my game. That's just way too big of a game to build. But man, it is such a lovely feeling to be able to just drop into a virtual world and do what you want to do. And last but not least is the micro stories. Each character, every single character seems to have a story. And I know I didn't even touch this. I didn't even get into that when I played it my long-term game or my short one here. Like there's so much to it. Cutscenes, everything. It is great. And now we're done, right? Let's see, there we go. So let's go back to the chat here. There aren't limited time events that keep dragging you back into the game even when there isn't a reason to play. Exactly. I think that's where Harvest Moon evolved into that, where they took a little bit of Animal Crossing, right? Animal Crossing had the real-time clock where you had to go back to the game every day. It followed real time. So when you'd play at 10:30 in the morning, it would be 10:30 in the morning in the game, and people had schedules and whatnot. This game was not that way, like you pointed out, right? They don't just force you back into the game. The one thing I would say is that because of, and this isn't a bad thing, every season, like we saw in Harvest Moon, just like in Stardew Valley, every season has certain events, certain crops, certain fish, certain collectibles. They're available in that one season only, and certain weather patterns and stuff like that. So if you're getting into the collectathon stuff, you're going like completionist method, it gets tricky, but that's the idea. It's supposed to be tricky. This is end game level stuff. This isn't just casual playthrough, right? So it doesn't force you back, and there always are ways for you to get past those systems once you like just beat it, you know. But that's the challenge of the game, is you have to find these things and make it work. So I always appreciated that about Stardew Valley, that, you know, there was that, oh, I missed this thing in springtime. Well, you're gonna wait till next year. You have to wait till the next in-game year. But there's so much other stuff to do. You're not worried about it. Like you might even forget that you got to do it. So it's kind of one of those, it's almost overwhelming, but it just doesn't feel that way. So I love that game for that. Thanks for the comments, Silterfish. Those were good comments. Hey everyone, thanks for watching the latest episode of WTF. We do this live every Thursday and Sunday on mixer.com/DavidWest, where we talk about game development, game design, do some coding, do some gameplay. It's a lot of fun, so you can catch me there. You can also find me on the social medias, on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and of course YouTube, at those things /DavidWest. And thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.